The number one reason that people divorce, what I read recently, is disagreement over finances. That is the number one stressor in marriages across the board. Obviously, we know that marriage is a partnership and that a lot of decisions and choices should be made together. And Eric, you've been doing this for almost 24 years now. I can't even imagine the amount of couples that you've seen in your office. When it comes to finances, I'm guessing that couples always don't see eye to eye. So let's talk about it. What are some of the things that you've seen?
When a couple comes in, you can always usually tell which one's being dragged in the office, right? It's like somebody doesn't exactly want to be there, but marriage is difficult. So again, when we're coming through, what we have to realize is that we have different financial backgrounds, ideologies, philosophies, spending habits. We come from different ideas of money. Maybe we were raised with money. Maybe we weren't raised with money. Mm-hmm. And so money is a difficult subject. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those subjects, really, Cynthia, that it's not just an initial conversation. It has to be an ongoing conversation.
Yes.
And so that's what people don't understand, is that we're coming into one and we want to live together. We want to be together, but money is a huge topic for people. And so financial planning really does come into play with all of this.
It really does. And when I think about marriage, I think of partnership and I think of team, doing things together, having fun, going on adventures. So shouldn't our finances be handled the same way?
Yeah, I think so. But the problem is that CNBC several years ago did a study and found that 64% of married couples are financially incompatible. I agree with that. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is true. I mean, the problem is that we just have different ideas about how we want to live. But the problem is that there's not enough conversation about it. And let's face it, marriage is hard, but so is divorce. Being single is hard. Dating is hard. Communicating is hard. Not communicating is hard. Saving money for retirement is hard. Being broke is hard. Trying to get fit and stay fit is hard. Not being fit and being out of shape is hard. Look, life is great. Life is good, but it's also hard. And when we are married, we are in a marriage. We are in a partnership. We have to realize, what kind of hard do we actually want? And so when we're starting to decide what we want our life to look like together, we have to realize what it's going to look like and how we're actually going to get there. And so again, by the financial plan and the income plan, it really is bringing people together.
And it should be fun for them to work on together, to share those ideas and those dreams. Joseph, overall, how important is communication in regards to finances in marriage, in your opinion?
Yeah, so communication is vital, just like it should be with your financial advisor. Discussing what your retirement goals and dreams are, how you're going to fund those, can prevent a lot of issues. And one of the most important concepts surrounding financial planning is that that plan needs to be updated and monitored on a regular basis, because what your retirement looks like is in regards to your lifestyle, your expenses, what the stock market is doing, all those things are going to change year over year. Your plan needs to be reflective of that. And so if you have a financial plan that was written for you 5 or 6 years ago and it's never been updated, well, then it's just about as good as not having a financial plan to begin with. And every time that we're sitting down with our clients and we're reviewing that plan, we're tracking their progress, we're going over their goals again, we're bringing everybody back onto the same page. And so I do believe that if you have a true financial planning process in place, well, then your communication skills as a couple is going to naturally improve in regards to your finances.
And it's so important to talk through everything, especially something as sensitive as finances can be. Eric, I should also ask you, obviously, how do you get couples to align their goals for retirement? Because like I mentioned, communication is obviously very important, but I'm sure that you probably have couples where one person feels very strongly about something and the other person feels totally different. How do you mesh those together? Because you're kind of becoming a marriage counselor as well.
Right. You really are. And believe me, you don't want me as a marriage counselor. As an investment advisor, I'm your guy. Money-wise, I'm your guy. Marriage counseling, not so much. But when it really comes to it, what we're trying to do is, through the financial plan and the income plan, we're really trying to understand your goals and objectives. Remember, just like I said earlier, we're coming from different financial backgrounds. We have different spending habits. We have different philosophies on money. Now, all of a sudden, we're older. Now we're adults. Now we're starting to understand what we want our life to look like. So now, all of a sudden, our goals and objectives have actually grown up. And now all of a sudden, we may have different goals and objectives. The idea behind the financial plan and the income plan is to try to bring everybody on the same page. And what you're really trying to do is be a financial referee. How can we give you both of what you want? And a lot of times people are like, okay, I want to pick my battles, right? There's some things that I really want. There's some things that she really wants. Let's just bring them on the same page. Let's try to get there in a nice way. And a lot of times what financial planning does is it actually better solidifies the relationship. And again, this is never an initial conversation. This should be an ongoing relationship. And it should be something where you are a partner with that. The one thing that I've noticed with couples is that on a birthday or on New Year's, we all make these silly resolutions, right? This year, you pound the table, I'm going to lose more weight. I'm going to save more money. But the problem is that motivation wanes. What we have seen with successful couples is discipline. It is the discipline that separates them from other couples because they understand they want to be motivated from time to time, but the discipline is actually involved in their everyday life. So from a financial standpoint, they're very financially disciplined in what they want to happen. And so when they do work together, they actually are in a better financial position.
Sure.
And unfortunately, money issues, if you do have them, lead to other issues.
Of course.
And nobody wants cracks or flaws in their marriage or their relationship. You actually want it to be better. That's why we're in a relationship in the first place. So financial planning really is a good start.
Well, it's so important because the number one reason that people divorce, what I read recently, is disagreement over finances. That is the number one stressor in marriages across the board.